Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, organics of all ages, I'm Double R, and today we're going over some corrections in this playlist, aka this season of Bananarama bullshittery. But to get there, let's cover up something real quick, fast, in a hurry, and that's the argument styles on how the brain operates within said argument styles, aka facts versus feels. Let's just get into it. In our following example, let us say, for some reason, you do not have access to any of the search engines. Bing, Google, Ask Jeeves. Yeah, I know. I'm immortal. I haven't signed with the Blood of Kings, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. I've been here since the dawn of time. Got it. Moving on. Point stands, you don't have access to any of those. And for some reason, you do not know the definition of dodecahedron. So when someone comes up and asks you, show me your dodecahedron, feels is reactionary. It's the first thing that comes to mind. It's just a reaction. What the hell's that? Boom, done. That's feels. It's a reaction. Now, depending on how you are swerving and misinterpreting things, you could take it as a personal insult. Show me a dodecahedron. Bitch, ain't that illegal? What? No. Pretty much you're trying to bait them into defining the word for you. Unfortunately, this also means you take their word for it at the start. Show me a dodecahedron. What the hell's that? It's a stop sign. Oh, well, we got one right outside. That's wrong. But you'll never know because you're not going to take anything else in because the first person you asked told you that's what it is. And you feel that's correct because they seemed confident in that. Vax will try to break the word down immediately. Any word you don't know, your brain will try to break it down. Dodecahedron. Well, let's look at the word hedron first. It's not a hadron collider, so that's right out. Hedron. Sounds something like geometry. Well, it's not spherical, and it's nothing to do with the cylinder. So chances are it's probably asking about dice. Logically speaking, dice. So what do we do with dodeca? Let's break this down. Deca, 10. Do, probably shortened from duo, probably 2. 2 and 10. Who here speaks more than just English? I'm learning Japanese and I've learned some German. Because I have this knowledge in my mindset, I'm able to break this down further. Let me give you an example of what I mean. In German, when I have to deal with numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20. 20. 21. 22. 1 and 20. 2 and 20. Japanese is pretty much the same way. When you get up to 20, you start adding the base number and 20. Then when you get to 30, the base number and 30. So it's 1 and 30. 2 and 30. In my example with the German, 1 and 20. 2 and 20. So let's look at dodecahedron now. 2 and 10. Chances are this is a 12-sided dice that he wants to look at. For those of you who don't know what the definition of the word is, go ahead now and look it up on Bing, Google, whatever. Go ahead. Am I right? Of course. Here it is. Now, I want to show you something interesting. Here's this. Weird how in the FAQ for a 20-sided dice, when people are asking what that's called, and they are questioning if the word dodecahedron counts, it's because 2 and 10. They logically went through the deductions, saw 2 and 10, and went, it must be 2 by 10. So 20. This is very understandable. It's a 50-50 shot. Now, having said that, that's how facts breaks it down. That's what your brain starts doing immediately when you hear a word you don't quite know. You try to break it down first, see where it goes, and if you can get close to the thing, you'll give it a shot. But guess what? For those of you who did just that and weren't sure what the answer was, when you looked it up on Google, you accepted their answer. And when I told you the other side of it, you understood why that answer was a thing. So when your factual brain is working, you're going, that's how he came up with it. That's what the answer is. It makes sense. You didn't just take my word for it. I showed you after looking it up on Google as well to double check myself, trying to limit the bad information I put out if I'm putting out bad information. Now, why do I bring all of this up within the first 6 to 7 minutes? Notice what I just said. I try to limit the bad information I put out. And that's why this video is called Corrections. So let's go over some of the corrections that we need to cover. In my psychology video, I put this. The paradox. Remember we talked about the pro side and their mantra of fiction is not reality. That's the paradox. They know fiction is not reality. They know it to a point that it's almost painful. We'll talk about the certain clip that I used like twice in a row. We're going to be bringing it up again, but we're going to analyze it a little bit differently when we get there. So bear with me. That's the paradox. They know it's fiction. They know it's not real. Some people are beyond that aid because every side has their extremists. Keep that in mind. The stigma. What do you think a stigma is? You like a cartoon? Oh my god! Give them a little taste of the good shit! That's our transition. That's what fine, whatever. Moving on. Nappa, we got some talking to do after this. Oh, come on, it's a good one. Just anyway, moving along. When I brought up the stigma, I stated, as you heard, it was society's view on the afflicted. The actual thing in the paper is swapped. The afflicted know it's a taboo, and they feel it's a taboo, and they're worried about bringing said taboo forward because they know society ain't gonna like it, because you know the whole definition of the word taboo. But that's the point. That was the stigma. They're kind of iffy about bringing the word forward, which some of y'all will recognize the hint about this in one of my other videos where I said, don't go into debates if you are an actual lolicon, because the reason why they're trying to bait you into a debate is because they know you're more antisocial. It's part of the psychology profile. The other correction happened to be over the clip. This. I want to bring up the fact that not all fictophiles, not all fictosexuals will react this way. This is a skit, be advised. But they will not act this way 100%. They will, of course, have some issues, but they don't tend to act like this. Again, this is a skit. It's to put it over the top. All right? Let's continue.
Come on.
Listen,
sure.
I love Demon Slayer so much. There's just one thing, okay?
Yeah.
Tengen is so hot. I would drag my labia against miles of glass shards. Just to get away from me. Miles of glass shards just to share a meal with him over a FaceTime call with one reception bar. Do you understand?
Okay, she's put everything down. She's pretty much, here's the supernatural stimuli that I'm afflicted by. Here's a parasocial relationship character that I'm afflicted with. Boom, boom, boom. Here we are. Why is this important, you ask? Well, knowing this, we need to hear.
Yeah. Wow. We stand a hot polygamist. Okay.
You know damn well he's not being polygamous.
I am the storm that is approaching.
As I stated at the beginning of the video, I decided to take the shorter subject and deal with that first because I was not feeling good. I was not feeling well. I wasn't feeling 100%. So I decided to take a shorter subject for me. Don't do this because when you're not feeling well, things can get muddled. I confused this character with the character she brought up, which is this one. So main correction right there, which changed into the next part. His statement, his word was correct, 100%. I presumed otherwise because I thought she was talking about this character, not that character. Thusly, this didn't make sense to me. So I tried to logically deduce, hey, he's saying this to protect G4's image because if he's asserting certain things, it's bad. Well, he wasn't really asserting anything because this character really is a polygamist because those three back there, those are his wives. You heard me. Now that we got that out the way, we can move on to the 1466 video. Woo! Now some of you are going, oh hell, you had a correction on this one. Well, let me point out it's one word and it's a technicality. It's this. If you read the entire thing, like most other things like this, most other USC items, United States Code violations, they have to define certain terms. Well, guess what, jabroni? When you look at 1466, if you read the entire goddamn thing, down near the bottom, it says definitions in section F, definitions. The second bullet point in the definitions states that when they are emphasizing sexually explicit material, they are
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Cast bread over every egg.
We're still using that as a damn it, Napa. Okay, look. Here's the point. On screen, right here, and right there, I used both of these screenshots, okay? The word conduct was there. It was on screen. And in the second screenshot, it was plain as day. But for some reason, I misspoke and said material. Sexually explicit material. No, it's over sexually explicit conduct. This is very important in the rules of law. If you go to court and you say material, there's a flag on play. Okay, we good? So even though I had the word conduct prominently on screen, I still misspoke and said material. So I want that cleared up right here, right now. 1466 uses 2256's definition of sexually explicit conduct. Okay? I want that clear. So with all that said, I'm out. See y'all later. And those are the basic corrections that need to be done. Now, I know there's probably some other corrections that are very small, minute, don't really mean jack squat. Not worried about those. I just want to make sure the facts are covered in the areas that need to have the facts covered. We good? We copacetic? Great. Until the next one. Later.